Wow, guys, no one expected this to happen. The new Armaguerra DLC weapons meta? No, that's unbelievable. Could not be Call of Duty. Well, the new DLC weapon's out, and it's actually incredibly broken. And I'm not talking broken in the sense that it's overpowered. I'm talking in the sense that the weapon's actually broken with how it functions and some of the camo challenges as well. To my knowledge, the only camo challenge that people are having troubles with is the mind games category. I'll have all 3 of the camo challenges that require 3 specific attachments on screen right now, just for those camo grinders that are curious to see what camo challenges we will be getting for this gun. But the first 7 camo challenges are the exact same as the rest of the SMGs within the game. Very quickly, before we jump into this gun, the best way to unlock it is the multiplayer route. In 15 different games, get 10 hipfire kills. Das House 24/7 is in the game right now, so if you lobby shop for TDM and hardcore, you should complete the 15 games pretty fast. Unfortunately, in Vanguard, you have to complete the match in order for the unlock challenge to count. So you can't just do your 10 hipfire kills, leave game, and then continue to just do that over and over again until you unlock the full SMG. Other than that, unlocking Atomic and unlocking this SMG is extremely easy. Visually, the Armaguerra looks very similar to the Modern Warfare 2019 Uzi and the Cold War Milano. It has that same bulkiness to it that those 2 weapons have. However, the stats on this blow those 2 out of the water. It's a really good up-close SMG. I personally run the mid to long range attachments on it just because I play control majority of the time. But one thing that is really cool, and they're definitely going to patch this within the next couple of days, if you run a suppressor on this weapon, the gun will literally not make any shooting sounds whatsoever. Now, this is taking suppressor or silencer to the complete next level, making the gun deathly quiet. If you know how guns work in Call of Duty, if a gun's unsuppressed, it's pretty loud. If a gun's suppressed, it's a lot quieter. But with this weird bug in the game, there is no sound whatsoever. And it's kind of weird to get used to because when you shoot your gun, you expect there to be a sound and some recoil. But you take away the sound and your gun feels weightless. So it's really weird to get used to gunfights when you don't hear what's going on with your own weapon. And I know that sounds completely counterproductive because if you play with no audio in the first place, you won't notice anything, but it's so weird to hear everything going on in the game around you and have nothing come from your gun whatsoever. But this does play to your advantage because you are now super stealth with this weapon. When I was grinding hardcore Das House 24/7 to get this thing Atomic, I would be pushing the enemy's spawn and killing 5, 6, 7 guys before anyone even knew I was there because they couldn't hear where I was shooting from. And on top of that, I had dead silence active most of the time, keeping my footsteps silent. So you are quite literally completely stealthed out with this one. If you play control, it's not as an advantage as you would have on, say, a game mode like Hardcore Domination, just because everyone in control can kind of predict where you're coming from, just because that game mode is so uniform in terms of spawning and gunfights. But if you're on a big map and you're a really good player at flanking, you can get behind or beside 3 or 4 enemies, kill 2 or 3 of them, and the last couple guys won't even know where you are, and you can just finish them off as well, just because there's literally no audio when you shoot. So V2 rockets with this thing, if you're trying to be stealthy, are extremely easy to get, especially with the high capacity magazines that you can carry with your gun. You can kill like 4 or 5 enemies before reloading without anyone knowing you're there. And it's completely broken, and I love it, but it's going to get patched soon. Like, there's no way they leave this in the game for longer than a week. So odds are, if you're watching this video a week after this gun has been put into the game, it's probably fixed by now. Hopefully. It's Sledgehammer Games. We never know. It could be like this for the entirety of this month. As I said earlier, people were also saying that the mind games category wasn't working for them. However, when I did the camo challenge, I used the attachments it gave me and I had no struggles with it whatsoever. However, I do know friends personally who have had troubles doing the mind games category, and no one seems to know the issue right now to solve it if it's not working. For me, it worked fine. I don't know if it's just a tracking issue like we've seen in the early stages of Vanguard where people aren't having their camo challenges be tracked. I don't know what's going on with that. If there is a solution, I'll have it in the pinned comment. But other than what's actually broken with the gun in terms of design and development, it's just an overpowered gun to begin with. So it's actually broken in terms of meta as well. And now that I come to think about it, I almost feel like they weren't ready to fully implement this gun into the game because the gun doesn't make sounds when you have suppressors, and if you ever watch kill feeds when you get killed by it, the weapon that it shows you getting killed by in the bottom left corner is some sort of MP40 variant that I think is just a shop variant. It makes me wonder if they were even ready to release the mid-season update because they already extended Season 2 an extra 50 days. And it's going to be interesting to see how it does in Warzone. In terms of Vanguard, it definitely feels like a well-gun killer and an MP40 killer in terms of meta. So it's going to be interesting to see how it performs in Warzone. I'm assuming it's going to be overpowered just like the well gun, if not just like the pre-patch Mac 10 way back from Cold War. We'll have to wait and see. I'll probably do a video later this week with the Armaguerra in Warzone. I definitely recommend giving this weapon a try. As always with new weapons that they introduce into Call of Duty during seasons, it's always fun to try something new and explore a new weapon in the game, especially if you're a grinder and want to get the Mastery Camo on every single gun in the game. Which reminds me, I have to get Dark Aether on this thing, which I might do today or tomorrow. And to no one's surprise, the majority of the mid-season update in terms of Vanguard was a flop. There's a new game mode called Arms Race that is extremely boring, and I think a lot of people were expecting Arms Race to be similar to Modern Warfare 2019's Ground War, or similar to Cold War's Combined Arms Assault, but it's just like a watered-down version of Fireteam Dirty Bomb with less players, which makes it less enjoyable to begin with in a game mode that's already not enjoyed by the majority of people. I'm gonna leave it there. That's the Armaguerra. If there is one, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.